If you've been watching the news lately and wondering, is now a bad time to sell? Well, I'll tell you this, you're not alone. This is especially important for people who have been in their homes maybe 20, 30, 40 years and are now thinking about downsizing because you're thinking about the cost for your retirement. And if you've also been looking at homes in Randolph and Stoughton, you might have noticed something that doesn't quite make sense. Welcome to Real Estate 360 with Janil, where I provide information to help you make confident real estate decisions that build legacy and generational wealth. Let's get into it. On paper, it looks like prices are starting to drop. So this morning, I went into MLS and pulled the real numbers over the last 5 years. And what I found was really quite surprising. I found that there was actually about a $30,000 price gap between these two towns that I'm sure most buyers and even some agents are not even paying attention to. By the end of this video, I'm going to show you why that gap might actually be one of the biggest opportunities you have seen in the past years. We're going to look at the real numbers, what's happening right now, and why this market isn't slowing down. It is just getting ready to move. So let's start with the numbers, and I'm going to keep this quite simple. See, in Randolph, last year the medium home prices was $597,000. So far this year, we're seeing around $580,000. In Stoughton, however, last year it was around $630,000, and right now we're seeing $610,000. So if you do the math, that's where I got the $30,000 price difference between those towns. On the surface, it also looks like prices are going down. And there's a lot of people out there that are panicking. They see that and they think, oh my gosh, the market prices are dropping. Maybe I should wait. But here's what most people don't realize. We're still early enough in the beginning of the spring. And this is what you're seeing is sale prices for the winter. Because fewer homes were on the market, and homes that tend to sell are smaller, are not the ones that really drive the higher price that are in the winter. So what you're seeing now is not the full picture. Every single year we see the same pattern in the winter when things slow down. But now spring is here and more homes are going to come on the market. And that's when you start seeing the prices adjust, because now buyers have more options. They are also competing for the homes that typically drive the prices up. I'd like to explain it like this. See, the market is like a spring. In the winter, everything tightens because we have low inventory and a steady demand. And when spring hits, that's when everything releases. And that's when we typically see prices that increase maybe 5 to 8%. Because the more desirable homes and the bigger homes hit the market. So the numbers you are seeing right now is not a crash. It is just a calm before the winter prices are gone. And the market in the busy season starts. The winter discount is about to end, guys, and the spring rush will be here. And prices are going to climb quickly. Now, let's talk about something that also matters to us as homeowners, and that's your monthly costs. The purchase price is just one piece of the puzzle. In Randolph, homes are generally lower, and the tax rate is slightly lower at $11.60 per thousand. In Stoughton, homes tend to be more expensive, and taxes are a little higher at about $12.30 per thousand. That means for a middle price home that's around $600,000 to $800,000, it means you might pay an extra $500 to $600 a year in taxes to be in Stoughton. When you combine those two, you're typically looking at about $200 to $250 per month to live in Stoughton compared to Randolph. And for some of you, that might not sound like a huge difference at first, but over time it can definitely add up. So now the real question becomes, is that extra cost worth it for what Stoughton has to offer? Let's talk about Randolph first. So Randolph is a great option if you're thinking about value, because you tend to get more for your money, and I know that's important. If you're thinking about downsizing and trying to keep your monthly expenses manageable, this is important. One of the things I see a lot in Randolph is ranch style homes. And for many of my 50 plus clients, that is important. Everything is on one level with little or no stairs. Easier, and it's easier to maintain, and it just makes life simpler. And then we have places like the Intergenerational Center, which is huge for seniors because they provide them with a place that is not just for fitness, but for them to stay active and connected, and so they don't feel isolated. So Randolph really gives you that balance of affordability, practicality, and community. Now let's talk about Stoughton. Stoughton is more about convenience and lifestyle. You have the commuter rail, which makes it easy to get into Boston. So if you still enjoy going into the city, whether it's for dinner, shows, or just getting around, that's a big advantage. You also tend to find newer condo developments in Stoughton. And for a lot of people, especially if you're tired of maintaining a home, that low maintenance lifestyle is exactly what you're looking for. No yard, no snow, especially after the winter we just have. Just make lifestyle a little bit easier. Now you can still find ranch style homes in Stoughton, just like Randolph, but they're usually a little higher price compared to Randolph's. So with Stoughton, you're now paying a little more, but you're also getting a different kind of lifestyle. So here's how I would break it down. If your goal is to maximize equity, lower your monthly costs, and find something practical and easy to manage, Randolph is great. But if your priority is convenience, access to Boston, newer homes, and a more low maintenance lifestyle, Stoughton might be worth the extra cost. And this is where it really comes down to you. Because the best move isn't just about the numbers. It's about what works for your life right now. If you're thinking about selling, downsizing, or just trying to understand your options, I'd love to help walk you through that. And there is no pressure, just real information so you can make the right decision. And this is Real Estate 360 with Janil, where we look at the full picture so you can make the next move your best move.